Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for tonight's team call. It's September 11th. Can't believe it's been this long, crazy. But let's go over announcements. First thing is it is the final month for the lift for $10 off of the challenge packs and completion packs. It will end on September 30th. There's a sale going on with the Beachbody apparel that also ends on September 30th. September 12th, To Be Mindset certification materials are available. You have to actually, so tomorrow, right, it's September 12th, you actually have to have the program in order to be certified. That was a question I saw somewhere else in case anybody had that question. There's a few promos that are going on, and off the top of my head, I can't really think of all of them. But with 80 Day Obsession, they have 80 days more or something like that. Jessica, or do you know about that? No, I know I'm just like picking people out. Or Leia?
Yeah, the a little more obsessed. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like what is it? People have to be on Shakeology Home Direct for 2 months or something?
They have to be on it by the end of this month as an existing customer or a coach, and then if they get a new challenge pack next month, they will also get access. So as long as they have Beachbody on demand, and it doesn't have to be Shakeology. It can be Shakeology, performance line, nutrition stuff like bars. It's not, I looked up the FAQs and it still didn't really be very clear, but like, I think as long as you have anything that is on Home Direct that we sell, like Daily Sunshine, bars, maybe if you have like Recover, Boost, stuff like that, as long as it's on Home Direct and you have Beachbody on demand and it's current, you're active this month, then you'll get an email next month that tells you get qualified for that.
All right, cool. Something that just popped into my head too, I don't think they really announced this yet, but I don't know where I saw this or heard this. They're going to be doing like a discount on shipping rates if you are on Shakeology, I believe, for like this month or next month. I'm not 100% like sure about all the details, but a lot of times like I know people are hesitant to like try other things because of the shipping costs. But for it's going to be like either October or November, they're going to do something. If you're on Home Direct, you're going to get better shipping. I'm not 100% sure on the exact details. And then another thing I'm not sure about is the new Ship Shop that's coming out. I believe that's sometime in October. I saw something in the Coach Online office about that. But again, okay. Courtney said there's $2 shipping in November if you've had HD for 4 months. They sent out an email a couple of days ago. Oh, okay. I guess I missed the email. I saw it somewhere else, but I think that's really awesome. And then the Shift Shop thing, that's going to be coming out in October. It's kind of like a few extra workouts. I'm not sure if it's going to be a full program or what, but just check in the Coach Online office in the breaking news section. It's all there. Something that I think we all should be just focused on right now besides everything else. Like let's just pump out this pumpkin spice vegan Shakeology. Leia did a really great post, I believe yesterday or today, about what she's doing to kind of promote that with her coaches and customers. Because personally, I feel like this is going to sell out like right away. Like I believe it's going to sell out within like 2 hours and people are going to be pissed. So I'm personally going to purchase as much as I can in my account and in Dave's account. I'm going to max out. I mean, just because I can then go and sell those individualized packets. And that's how like I'm going to do this. I feel like it's not going to be a great way to get new customers in because I think they're going to be frustrated if it sells out right away because you know how new customers are. They're kind of slow to get things going, right? So I'm personally going to like purchase as many packets as I can. Then I'll resell them, you know, when they come to me for like $5 and give them and get people involved in that. Do we know, are they just going to go live, and are we all going to go like crazy to try and get it, or a gradual release? I think it's going to be just like a free for all of just like pure craziness. Usually what is it? They do it like 12 o'clock our time on Monday, or sometimes they'll even do it later, like 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, they will probably announce it the time. Yeah, 3 p.m. our time. Yeah, it's just going to be one of those days where we're gonna, I don't want to say glued to our phones, but whoever hears it's out first, just post in the team page, and we'll kind of all go crazy. So I'm like using it just like Leia for my current coaches and my customers. I'm also going to be sending out, like, did anyone get an email? I don't get many emails from Beachbody, but did anybody get one from them about like pumpkin spice Shakeology? They did. All right, because I didn't either. I have a list of people that did the first 80-day group in January. It's like a mix of everyone's customers in the team. I'm going to send out an email using that list. So don't think I'm trying to steal your people. I'm not. Like, it's still going to go through you, but I just want people to like it's just another route to get people like aware of it. And then I'm going to go in like all the challenge groups that we have and just post all about pumpkin. That way it kind of just is in front of their face. So the more times that you can like say this to people and kind of like get that information in their heads as quickly as possible, because Monday is going to be here and gone. All right. And then 2 other announcements. October 20th is Super Saturday. So if you are a new coach and have no idea what Super Saturday is, it's kind of, it is our quarterly event. So every quarter we have an event. They do it all in different locations. So if you go into your Coach Online office, go to events, and then you can just put in your zip code and find the nearest one near you. But it's just a great time for all of us coaches from all different teams, all different ranks and everything, just to get together to kind of go over what we're going to be doing in the last quarter of the year, pep talk, give a little bit of motivation, inspiration, and just being in that live environment is so different than just kind of, yes, our team calls are awesome, but just being there together is something that you can't get anywhere else. So make sure you have that on your calendar. For Philly, it's going to be Super Sunday. That parenthesis was bothering me. And Carl Deichler is going to be there for Philly. So if you are close to Philly, it takes me an hour and a half. Like, I'm obviously going to be there. Wherever you are, if you're close to Philly, within like 2-hour range, like, you can drive. So get there, because it's going to be a good one. And then Team Retreat is definitely going to be January 11th through the 12th. So like, we'll stay over either, like, we're still trying to figure out the logistics of the house that we're trying to get. It's probably going to be South Jersey, either where were we looking, Jess? Like Avalon, Stone Harbor, or Cape May. We have a few places. I kind of want to wait until after like hurricane season a little bit, because I know like Avalon and Stone Harbor now are kind of getting flooded. So I just want the house to actually still be there. But we'll stay over January 11th, and then all day on January 12th will be the retreat. So you can stay both nights. Again, still trying to figure out the logistics of how much it's going to cost and all that kind of stuff. But just kind of have those marked down on your calendar if you want to come. Obviously, if you're from out of state, you can either fly into Atlantic City, would be the best place to fly, or Philly. But just kind of get your bearings down for that. And we'll, hopefully within a week or 2, we'll put out more info. All right. So last week I asked, oh man, there's a line in it. Darn it. I don't know how that always gets there. But if I move it, nope. All right. I asked like what you guys want to kind of learn about. And Jillian asked like how to retain customers and how to retain coaches. So I figured, instead of me talking, and this was kind of like a last minute for tonight, someone else, Mallory, was supposed to, but she is getting hit by the hurricane. I wanted us to kind of all like brainstorm. And I did this thing with not just Jeff Mathewson, but Kevin Shaw, where we were just talking about a topic and then we just built on that. So if we can come up with certain ideas of how we can retain customers, I'll write them in the box. And then in that box, we can kind of break it down even more. So for example, how to retain customers. Let me put good customer service. Okay. And then from there, how can we give people good customer service? And then we can break it down even more. So like I said, this is going to be very interactive team call. So get your chat boxes out, unmute yourself. I don't care. I don't want to be the only one talking.
Are we going to start with coming up with 3 ideas or just going into customer service first?
Let's just dive into customer service.
Okay.
So Jessica had, she put setting initial expectations for availability to communicate. Okay, cool. All right, I wish there was like a.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So just like set expectation for communication.
Yeah. Just because you don't want new customers getting frustrated when they message you at 10 o'clock and they don't hear back from you until 7 a.m. Like, just let them boundaries.
Yes. I like that.
What do you currently tell your customers?
I just say that you can, I do set my phone on silent, and I tell them you can feel free to message me at any time, but after like 10 p.m. in the window of like 10 p.m. until the morning, I generally am sleeping or with my family. So like, I kind of give a window of when I probably won't answer back. But I always say, if I happen to see it, like if my daughter wakes up in the middle of the night, I will shoot you a message back. But it's something I never used to do, and I always had my phone next to me. And since the birth of Ev and family, I'm trying to not just always be answering messages. I think it's important for you as a person in your family in general to not just be always available, because then you do also, like, I have one customer who I'm probably going to have to say something to because she texts me all day and all night. And I love that. And I have said to her, I love that you're super passionate and excited and ready, but we have the group available for some questions. Please interact there first, and then feel free to reach out to me if you don't get your answer.
I personally don't respond because they're either going to find the question that they have, or you're going to wait for my time. You know what I mean? Like, this is not like a 24/7 revolving door.
Right.
So like, if people want that answer right away, they can obviously Google it, but I'll get back to them within 24 hours. And I think that's something that's reasonable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you can say that too to people, and I think it is important to say that to customers, because we are here to help them, but we're not also their on-call like therapy doctors. We're not your counselor. You can't call us at 3 a.m.
Good one. So Tina said follow up and check-ins, which are super important. Tina, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. I can't see you right now. I don't know where she is. Oh, there she is.
There, sorry, I'm multitasking with work. Can you hear me?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I mean, just something basic I have to remind myself too, just follow-ups and check-ins. Like, just like the free customer that I got recently, or not recently, but like her and I have been trying to connect, and just recently were able to connect through Facebook, and now she's doing Ultimate Reset. It's super awesome. Like, she's been excited. She wants to change herself, so it's just kind of like checking in. I'm excited for you to start this program. Make sure that you go through like, a couple different things, reach out if there's anything, post questions in a group or ask me, but everyone's here to help, so it's kind of just the follow-ups and check-ins have been helpful.
Yep, definitely. I feel like our job starts when they get a package. It's not like they get something and then that's the end of it. Like, that's why we're kind of different from everybody else, because I'll be honest, I ordered something, which I think it's fine to order from other like network marketing, right? Like we all have our things. But I ordered like the lash thing because my eyelashes are like so short from the freaking extensions. So I got the Rodanthan Field stuff, and she never checked in to see if I got it, never asked like how it was. Like, I feel like that's so simple to just like say, hey, how are you doing? Even if I don't like it, I didn't even honestly open it yet. But like, that is good customer service to just be like, hey, did you even get it in the mail? Like, some people, I know I've asked people and they're like, no. I'm like, all right, like, let's try and figure out where it is, like what happened. Some people don't want to ask you. So you have to be the one kind of, putting yourself in that coach role pretty much. Yeah, we're just not here to sell something. Yep. So definitely follow up, check in, and even like throughout that period, I think is really important, like the very beginning of that, like, all right, that. So what I do is when I get somebody, they sign up, I see they sign up, I instantly always send them a welcome email. And that welcome email, I have how to access Beachbody On Demand, how to download the app. If it's for a specific program, I'll make sure like I, highlight in there, go to your program tab, blah, 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 get the nutrition stuff. I'll send them a video of Shakeology of like, it's my like old ass video from like, I don't know, 2 years ago about Shakeology. It's nothing great, but it gives them this is what you do, make it, blend it, blah, blah, blah. And then what else do I have in there? Just like, if you need me, you can email me or message me on Facebook. So just like simple like bullet points, and kind of going back to what Jessica said too, you're setting the expectation of I put the challenge group information in there. So I put the link of the challenge group, when the start date is, and then the link to the group on Facebook. So like you're setting up that expectation right off the bat of like, and I say like, you need to participate in the challenge group if you want, to get the full effect of this. So setting up that expectation of what you expect them to do. Yes, they got the challenge pack, but what else do they freaking need to make the shake. They need to press play. Like there's all those other like little things that you expect them to do, but unless you verbally or, write them in an email and letting them know like, this is what a challenge group is. And, that they need to show up, like that's kind of on us too, is just letting them know those expectations like up front. I don't know if anybody wants to add to that or what they do in the beginning when they get a new customer to set up that good customer service from the get-go.
I send a customer welcome email also. I didn't always do that, but I send a customer welcome email that just like, besides, I don't actually set clear expectations, which I'm going to now edit my whole email because this is great. And because I assume they know, which is total, right? I'm an ass because they don't know. So I'm going to do that. But in my welcome email, I mostly just like hype them up. Like I get them really excited. And I think your excitement and energy is really important too. What I also do is I also have a Google form in there that asks them questions about, their gut health and digestion and energy levels and their goals, and how do, it's kind of around expectations. How do they want me to hold them accountable? Do they want me to email them, text them, call them out in the group? Like, how can I help them achieve their goals? And then I explain to them that there's a challenge group like Rose, and when the date is, if there's a date. And I always add people to that group myself and welcome them into my group, but then I let them know like that the unit section, so I don't put lots of links or emails in I don't put a lot of knowledge in my email. I tell them where it's located in my Facebook group. So in my Facebook group, I have like a prep week in the unit section for our team kind of challenge group. So it's all there. So I say, go to the units and prepare yourself. If it's not like an 80-day group where we're going to run a prep week.
Yep. Yeah, I love the Facebook units now. It's a great way to also set up like those expectations and get all those kind of things in order. Yes, Jessica, I will share that customer email in the team page. Man, I spell things so bad.
I can share the Google form too. I stole it from Melanie Mitro.
I'm sure I stole mine from someone else too.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm sure we can kind of build off of this good customer service, right? But I think 3 is a good one to start with. And I just love this kind of way of just working things out, because you can really use this for any problems or any question you're having to just really start to break things down. So you can actually have actionable steps that you can take instead of saying oh, no one's September sucks and whatever. There are things that we can do to make things better. All right. So what is another idea for us to retain customers? Anybody?
Get them results. I mean, I think that for me personally in my business, my customers stay with me if they get good results. If they don't get good results, then they don't stay. I mean, help customers get results. It kind of goes into customer service, but I think there's more things. This is an area of opportunity for me for sure.
No, I think it's a good one. Tara, I saw your question. I'm not ignoring it. Because I think it can actually go into this help get customers results. Am I even saying that right? But Tara asked, do you have your own ongoing Facebook group separate from the challenge groups? That would obviously be a great way to keep customers engaged. I mean, and that could be just another one here.
Yeah, I personally do, Tara. I have a team-wide ongoing support group, so my entire downline has access to it, and it's a long-term accountability that we either place people in once they finished a challenge, or if they're not doing a launch group, or we don't have any current small team groups going on. And it's like a family. So that's been huge for a lot of people. But a lot of people also, this is a downside, maybe we could come with a solution. The group gets big, and so people kind of get lost. So that's a downside about that.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, I did, but it just Leia says, it after a few years it gets overwhelming, and then you feel you're being pulled in certain you just have a lot going on, right? So I think in the beginning, you're going to have phases in your business that you're building, and I think we all should be in the beginning in the building phase of our business, but especially for a newer coach, you're in that building phase 100%. So I think it is a good idea, because it's going to help to keep your customers engaged. Even after they do a 30-day group or lift, they can always go in there and still have some accountability. All right, I'm just reading everything, so bear with me.
Yeah, Lauren posted a new one. I clean out my group. So every year, I clean house. People that aren't buying Shakeology that fell off the wagon, they get X'd out. So I clean house every year. And they're
what, you clean that challenge group out and just wipe it? All the people?
Yeah, anyone that fell off the face of the planet and isn't buying it, products, they're not working out, they're not responding to my messages, or I have my coaches delete. So that way, if people want to the accountability, then they need to sign back up, right? Or purchase something again or commit again, and then they get access to the group.
Sorry, guys, I cannot spell tonight. It's just going to be like
But Tara, there is a lot of ongoing groups, and something I think that's easy as a new coach to fall into is just putting people into whatever groups that have going on, and you can easily lose track. And I found too that if I have too many people in too many groups, I'm not giving good service to my customers, and I'm not like there. Like I'm just like posting in like 6 groups and like copying, pasting, and I don't even feel present in the group. So that's why I personally like make sure that this is like my hub for this long-term group. And then if I have a launch group going on, that too. We didn't always have launches. So this is like a new thing for this year that's been like ongoing, that there's a lot of team-wide groups.
And I like, Leah, what you said too before, kind of backpedaling. Like they have to be committed in some way or another, whether they just get energized or it's every 2 months they have to have something, or you just got to have a baseline of how you're going to run it, whether it is, I mean, I think there's different scenarios, right? Whether it's your free group or it's your paid kind of group, and you want to, be giving more attention to those people who are obviously paying and purchasing something. Okay, so Jessica said constantly invite and make sure that they continue their journey. So I kind of put that, and a lot of these can go under like the same categories, right? Like daily check-ins, like we had check-ins for good customer service. Daily check-in, weekly check-ins. Lauren said like you can have a group messenger too with your challengers or with your coaches. But then like I also think like, how can we think like outside of the box, like with the check-ins, and this is where you also get into your challenge groups of like check-ins with either like your meal, or like I hate doing check-in with weight because I feel like that, like yes, TV mindset, great. But for me personally, like I don't think other women want to share that. But even like I think like sharing your food, or sharing your water intake, or checking in with your sweaty selfie, whether that's in the challenge group, you're doing those daily check-ins. And that's why I love those nightly check-ins. I don't know, it's just getting those people to even just show up, even if they're not posting something, at least checking in something, showing up for something.
I tried something last month that didn't work well, but it was more, I think, timing of the summer and the specific, there was a couple things we could have done better, but this is something that I listened to and I heard on like, I don't know, some leader that's in like an elite group that I'm in, and she does contests. So if you have a group of people that are really motivated, competitive, they like winning stuff like that, then what she does is she offers, there's a couple things they need to do. It's basically like a daily night like checklist, and they have to post a picture of their workout, of their food, their Shakeology, and they have to do personal development. And those 4 things, and every day they get a point like for those things. So they get 4 points potentially a day, and then at the end of the week there's like a point total. So kind of like we do weekly volume posts. They do like a recognition post every week for people based on points in the group. And then at the end of the challenge, someone wins like a prize. So it could be anything like small, or she actually gives away like a pair of free Nikes. I thought that was crazy, but what she does is she goes on this website and gets them for like $50, and she's a bigger team. So if you get people results, it's worth it for her. But it doesn't have to be $50. You're my husband.
Ronnie.
You don't have to like give people, Nikes. Sometimes it's just about the competition too. So I thought that was a great idea.
I like that because that's kind of bringing like the one positive thing from the My Challenge tracker, which is the check off of the shakes and for me, I don't get a lot of people who love the challenge tracker. I feel it's very disconnected for me, but I love the check-ins with the shakes and the pictures with the workouts. Like that's the one, and the keeping of the measurements like intact in one place. So that's one way, like I like that idea to bring it into the challenge group through Facebook, is to kind of create that. Like who was it, Rose? Who was it in leadership that did something like that? But it was with their coaches. Remember, it was like that 7-day activity thing. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was almost like a bat, but it was over 7 days, and they had to post it. I'm gonna look back at my
notes. Post their bat.
Yeah, but it wasn't the bat. Who was it? It wasn't Trina. Was it Trina Gray?
Oh, like at Summit?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. That was my hangover day.
No, it was the leadership thing. You were there. Leia, you were there. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was the next day. Yeah, I was hungover.
What was it? I'm sorry, I lost you.
Do you remember? It's just kind of spiraling off of that, but instead of our challengers, it was more on the coaches. The daily activity like sheet, and then you had to post a picture with like your face, and it completed at the end of 7 days. It was like a 7-day challenge.
Yeah.
I have to look back at my notes on that one because
I have notes on that. But yeah, I have like an image that I got from this group, this coach that does it. And so it's basically like this little square, and it's a picture of like a Shakeology cup and like a workout and like,
okay.
a little image. And basically like you can save it to your phone, and then you can just like check it off every day and like upload it. So it's kind of like a to-be tracker in the way that you're tracking it, but you can like upload and track in the challenge group every day. So kind of like when we've done the 80-day groups, every night we'll do like a nightly poll or a check-in. Yeah. So as long as you have a group that's interactive, it will work.
I like that. Can you share that image?
Yeah.
Can you share everything that you have, Leia? Don't take it all.
Cool. And I really think like just making the challenge groups fun, and especially like for like me, an old timer, like I've run I don't even know how many freaking challenge groups. It starts to become like redundant for me, and I feel like if I'm not feeling excited about the challenge group, then they're not going to feel excited either. So I know personally, like I try and revamp my challenge groups like every year, and it's usually towards like this last like quarter of the year where I'm just feeling like and then January is like when we like just freaking like kick it off. So I probably should do that more often to have that high energy. So I mean, there's a million different YouTube videos on challenge groups and kind of like what Leia is talking about, and different contests and prizes. And I mean, there's so many things that coaches do, and don't think it has to be run a certain way. So don't like look at like our team groups and be like, this is how challenge groups have to be run. Like, no, like you're creative, like go for it. Like that's not like being creative is really not my zone. But like try something out like Leia did. If it doesn't work, oh well. If it's the wrong timing, then try again. Like you just gotta like really have to figure out what's gonna work with you. Be excited about it. If you're just excited about it, like the people in the group are gonna be excited too. So anything else? I know like we totally like went all over the place and I started typing stuff up. And one thing I'll add too is like in your challenge group, be a challenger yourself. So I know like especially with the bigger team groups, there's a lot of people that post in it. Sometimes it's a lot of us coaches, but if I try and go in there, I'll like everything, even if it's not my week, and I'll try and comment. Especially if I see like just a customer or a new coach in there. So really try and like, motivate people by just commenting and liking if they do actually post in the challenge group, give them that recognition, right? That fourth vital behavior.
Yeah, something else that I do is recognition. just like shouting out, like anytime a customer tells me, if they don't post it in the group, like I'll shout them out in the group, like, hey, this person just told me they like lost 6 pounds, or recognizing them for like small wins, like giving them like a shout out no matter what it is, the progress that they have.
Yeah, that's super important for coaches and for customers, definitely. What else can we add? Help get customer results. I think nutrition, right? Like, I really do not like people. I don't like people just getting BOD. Like, if they're not doing any nutrition, like, I just feel like I'm setting them up for failure. And that's what I'll tell people too. Like, if I'm talking to them and they just want to do BOD, I'll be like, I want my people getting results, and I don't want to set you up for failure. Like, that nutrition is key to getting people results.
And I think what comes off of that, Rose, is honesty. Like, that. This is one thing in the beginning I had trouble with, because I was like, oh, that's okay for you to like stuff your face with 5 tacos from like, a burrito van down the street during lunchtime. Like, that's all right. We'll get back on track tomorrow. Like, I used to be that kind of coach, whereas now I'm like, well, how did you feel after? Do you want to do that again? So I think when you consider, they don't pay us the rates of trainers, right? Or nutritionalists. That's not what we get paid, but we can hold them as accountable as what a nutritionalist or a trainer would. And
you say nutritionalist?
Nutritionalist? What did I say?
I don't know.
Nutritionist?
Nutritionist.
Rose, I'm going on. I don't even know how long.
Okay. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, that's something that
It was close enough. Nutritionalist. I think that sounds better personally. I'm going to go with that. Nutritionist? But what was my point? Oh, yeah.
Being honest.
Yeah, honesty and actually holding them accountable and being,
I think that's good.
Like I said, like opening up and saying to them, okay, well, what can I do? Do you want tough love? Are you the type of person who responds to that? Should I praise you for the good? Like, finding out the type of personality that they are as a challenger, because if you start giving tough love to someone who needs praise and positive reinforcement, it's going to go the opposite direction. So it's figuring out who your challengers really are and what they'll best respond to by asking them, and not just assuming you can figure them out eventually. I think you really have to be honest with yourself as a coach and honest with them as a challenger. And it's kind of coming back to set those expectations, but praise and love and celebrate, but definitely hold them to the standards that you set initially.
Yeah, especially like with that, like if you have that customer welcome email and it has like the Google form of, or like when you're talking to them and you're like, what's your goal? Like, that's the whole point of us asking, like, what's your goal, is so we can go back to it and be like, you said you wanted this, like, where are you? Like, why aren't you showing up? And I think the same thing with Jess. Like, I was always all nice in the beginning. Not that I'm not nice now, but like I told the girl today, she's like, I mean, she's struggling. She did really good with 21 Day Fix. Like, when it first came out, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, she weighs more now than ever. And she's using I have to like cook my husband dinner. And I'm like, are you serious? I just flat out told her, like, your husband's a big boy. He can either make his own meals or eat what you make. Like, don't use that as an excuse for why you're being so unhealthy. Like, he's a big boy. Like, he can like help himself. And that was definitely a tough love, because we've had the same conversation over and over. So you have to find like the right time, and you have to almost build those relationships. And I think that kind of encompasses everything, is really building those relationships with people to know, like, like what's their dog, who's their husband, like what do they do for fun, like really just get to know them as people. And then I feel like you can kind of start giving them that tough love and that honesty when they really need it and are giving you like BS excuses. Yeah, relationship building is huge for sure. Anything else we can add on keeping I feel like keeping customers engaged? I think even like letting them know, like especially like your current and past customers, of like what like the new stuff that's going on. So even if you haven't heard from them in like a long time, like when 80 Day came out, I went through like everyone that I knew, and with TV Mindset, that I messaged everyone. I'm like, hey, there's this new this, there's this new that. So even if you haven't heard from somebody in a long time, like I forget the percentage, but it's easier to keep a new customer like in your wheel of influence, like in your circle, than to get a brand new customer. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right, Leah? Like
Your existing customer. It's easier to sell someone you already sold than someone brand new. Totally.
Yeah.
That's in the book that I'm reading right now too. Grant Cardone.
What one is that? I want to read that one.
This thing. Yeah, it's really good. Sell or be sold.
It's awesome.
Really, really good. You're gonna read this, and and anybody reads it, you're gonna be like, wow, I feel like he wrote this book for Beachbody. Like so much of what here's the reality too is like what we do is sales. Like people don't want to like feel like it's sales, but everything that you do in your life is sales. In trying to have a conversation and get someone to agree with you, or to maybe this is even something too, like sell your customer like hope, the hope of what they want. Because every conversation is just a transaction of your energy and to helping them get what they want. Oh, awesome, Diana. I don't see her. Okay.
Yes, I saw that she's on. I don't think her picture.
Her picture's not here.
Yeah, her picture's not on.
I'll say it out loud because I thought she was on. I just have to say, I just saw who was on. And Diana, can you hear me? Because the fact that you're on right now is like, way to go, Mama. You've got your stuff together.
Oh, and I listened to, I'm like obsessed with Rachel Hollis now, and she had that football player on. I can't remember. Oh, Lewis Howes. And she had a really great quote, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. And she was quoting somebody else, but she said, in the age of this information, ignorance is a choice. Meaning we have everything at our fingertips. So if we want to learn how to retain customers and have good customer service, we just need to go out and like find it. If we want to, like I said before, make our challenge groups fun and engaging and exciting. Like there's information out there to get it done. We just like need to be focused on exactly like what part, like obviously there's so many things here, but pick one thing that you personally need to work on to grow your business and do that. Like don't try to do all this week because you're setting yourself up for failure, but just pick the one thing where you can be like, you know what, like I haven't been following up or checking in with my customers. I'm going to make sure that every Friday morning, I'm just going to check in with them. Or you know what, my challenge groups have stunk. I'm bored. They're boring me. I need to revamp them. So just choose one of these things. Or I need to do a customer welcome email. Whatever it is, just pick, I gotta fly. Just pick that one thing, and that's the one thing that you should be working on for this week or for the next 2 weeks, whatever.
And I would just want to add too, like, so before I worked in customer service before Beachbody, and one of the biggest things, because we were really, it's car insurance, but one of the biggest things about the company was customer service. And it's really, I don't know why it just occurred to me right now, but like setting like clear expectations is so huge. But not only setting the clear expectations, but exceeding those. So, it's like if you're not setting expectations, that's number one, a fail. And if you are setting expectations and you're telling them, you're going to reach out to them every week or so, make sure that you're reaching out to them at least every week. you know? I think that when I have, for the last 3 years, when I've ever talked to people that have converted to me as a customer, meaning saying they used to have a coach or they have a coach that like fell off the face of the planet, like everybody that I've ever talked to said their coach never messages them, their coach doesn't like have groups going on, their coach doesn't give them support. That is like the big thing that I've ever heard. So as long as you're supporting them and in contact with them and providing them with tools and support, a lot of the rest of it honestly is up to them, so it's your job as a coach is just to guide them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like my focus now is a lot of Instagram, and yeah, a lot of people do have bot or they've had a coach, and I'm like, are they still coaching? Are you talking to them? Are they checking in with you? Do they run groups? No. And it's like, we don't need to be experts and we don't need to be nutritionalists or whatever. We don't need to know all like that information. All we need to do is check in with people, run silly groups, not silly groups, but run chat. You know what I mean? Like it is so simple where, like just check in with people. Like that's what makes us different than just salespeople. Yeah, I was going to do the how to retain coaches. Maybe we'll save that for another time because it's already almost 9:30. Thanks everyone for showing up. I'll post the recording. If you are from North Carolina, please be safe, and there's plenty of room here if you guys want to stay, but we might float away soon. So everyone stay safe, warm, and we will see you next week. Thanks.